Hey, I'm Jake. I make RPG supplements and videos about Pathfinder 2 and some other stuff, but mostly Pathfinder 2, or PF2. I love PF2, and since the remaster happened, I love it more. Let's talk about more remaster stuff. So, in this video, I'm going to cover some of the things that people actually asked me to cover in previous videos' comments, and most of them are class-specific. So if you want to see the general video on what I covered that I like, that changed, then there will be a link to that video at the end and in the description. Now, I was asked, are animal druids better? No! No! Not in any way I can tell. The animals are the same, and every other subclass of druid each order got new feats except the animal druids. Okay, they did get one, but it's a little higher level and it doesn't really do much. So there are cool druid feats though, like Snowdrift Spell. It's a 4th level feat, 1 action, 4th level feat, Cold Druid Manipulate Spell Shape, Prerequisite Storm Order. The howling wind and precipitation of your magic turn to thick snow. If your next action is to cast a spell that has the air, water, or cold trait and that does not have the fire trait, select one creature affected by the spell on the ground. Each square on the ground under or adjacent to the creature fills with ankle-deep snow. Those squares are difficult terrain until the beginning of your next turn. A creature can interact to clear a square of snow. The snow in a square melts if that square is exposed to a fire effect. I love this, because it's the new kind of meta magic spell shape. And you can do this on every time you cast that spell, that kind of spell. So you can sort of be like, I don't know, like the master of difficult terrain, especially if you have like the witch patron familiar ability of the silence and snow, because then you like create a burst of icy ground around the familiar, and your spell also does that the next time. It's cool. So anyway, it's fun. It also works really well with the Geomancer. You can just be extra cool with your cold spells, because they all do these things. Anyway, it's neat. I like it. Also, another druid feat at level 6, Grown of Oak. You have to have the leaf order. Basically, it's bark skin at will at one level lower, or rather one rank lower than the highest level you can cast. So, highest rank you can cast. Jesus. Gotta get the right terminology. So essentially you always have damage reduction. Nice. That's good. You resist piercing and slashing damage, and you make yourself vulnerable to fire. So it's not always good, but it's very frequently useful, and it's just a feat. So you never have to prepare that spell. Good. It's good. A note about multi-class archetypes in general, they haven't changed. I read them all. As far as I can tell, none of them changed at all. Just so you know. And talismans. I don't want to forget to talk about talismans. So they did change them. Barely. They removed a few restrictions. They didn't make any of them more powerful. So since the restrictions they removed are things like, instead of having to have expert in acrobatics, you have to have trained. They just made it easier to access them and to use them. Doesn't mean they're better. I think talismans are still shit. And yes, I'm still having an argument on my Discord with people who think otherwise. It's really hard to sway me on this. They're crappy. So anyway, in my game, my most recent game, The Slithering, I gave one of the characters played by John. He's playing the Orc Thaumaturge. Rawl, that's his name. I just said that instead of making a talisman of half your level, it's your level, because he has the talisman feat. So that you could at least do something a little bit more useful. Because they're not great at all. Okay. Well, I make a lot of builds that use unarmed attacks. It just happened to work out that way. It's fun and it's interesting to like combine claw and extra damage or spells or extra abilities and stuff. So Runic Body and Runic Weapon are the new versions of Magic Fang and Magic Weapon. They work pretty much the same, except they can be heightened to do extra damage, and they can be taken by any tradition. So no longer do you have to take Druid to access the primal spells to be able to cast Magic Fang. Runic Body can be cast by witches, or, wizards or somebody, but witches. Yeah, it's great. The Ranger feats got regrouped. So, like, instead of taking a specific feat for a specific focus spell, it's a specific feat on the Ranger list that gives you access to that level of focus spells, that rank of focus spells. And then you can choose what you want from a list of that rank's available focus spells. So it's pretty much the same. It's just a little easier to follow, which is indicative of everything else they did in the remaster. It's pretty much just easier to understand, with a little bit more functionality, like Runic Body and Runic Weapon working for any tradition. I really like that. Well, there were a couple of times that I had to, take a witch archetype in order to gain access to primal spells so that I could get somebody to cast Magic Fang. I'm glad I don't have to anymore. I'm going to mention a couple more spells because somebody said they wanted to know more details about specific spells, instead of just generally, spells have changed. So, okay. Oh, and if you want to go to my Discord, there's a document there that's being passed around that is comparing the old names from Pathfinder 2, the OGL WotC names, and the new names of the spells for Pathfinder 2. So it's really easy to cross-reference. Oh, this spell that I was looking for is called this now. The Discord link is on the About page of YouTube. Just go there. Cleanse Affliction. Second level spell. It's available to Divine Occult, Primal. It's so interesting that, so many traditions got more access to spells. I haven't really seen Arcane get much more access, but that's okay. I don't really care about Arcane spells usually. One of the new spells, Cleanse Affliction, I want to read to you because it's a little bit tricky, but the condition removal spells, the affliction removal spells, have been condensed into 3 different spells now. So they're way more easy to use, and you don't have to spend your selections on multiple spells just to be useful as a healer or restorer, depending on what your role is. Cleanse Affliction, 2 actions, second level spell, concentrate, healing, manipulate, traditions, divine, occult, primal, cast 1 minute, range touch, targets 1 willing creature. Gentle restorative magic pushes back the effects of toxins and more complex maladies. Choose an affliction on the target such as a curse, disease, or poison. If it has advanced past stage 1, reduce the stage by 1. Cool. This reduction can be applied only once to a given case of an affliction, with the case ending when it's completely cured. Although the reduction can't occur again, heightened versions of the spell attempt to counteract with each casting. So heightened level 3 is attempt to counteract a disease or poison. Heightened level 4, it includes a curse. So Cleanse Affliction is the name of that one. The physical counterpart of that spell, Sound Body, I'm going to read to you as well because it works slightly differently. But it does affect blinded, dazzled, deafened, enfeebled, or sickened. 2 actions. Spell level 2, concentrate, healing, manipulate, vitality. Traditions, divine, occult, primal. Range touch, targets 1 willing creature. You send a surge of healing energy to restore the target's body. Attempt to counteract an effect of your choice imposing one of these conditions on the target. Blinded, dazzled, deafened, enfeebled, or sickened. If you didn't counteract the effect, but you would have if its counteract rank were too lower, instead suppress the effect until the beginning of your next turn. This effect's duration doesn't elapse while it's suppressed. The spell can't counteract or suppress curses, diseases, or conditions that are part of the target's normal state. Higher levels you include Drained at 4th, and then at 8th you add Stunned to the list. This is so cool and useful and convenient. I didn't realize how easy spells could be until they consolidated them and made them more useful. Great, these are good spells. Speaking of good spells, I have to bring up a wizard spell that I thought was so stupid, but they fixed. Energy Ablation, 1 action. It's not a spell, sorry, it's a feat. Second level feat, spell shape wizard. As you direct destructive energy at a foe, you can divert some of its power into a protective barrier that shields you from harm. If your next action is to cast a spell that deals at least 1 type of energy damage, acid, cold, electricity, fire, force, sonic, vitality, or void, you gain resistance to an energy damage type of your choice. equal to the spell's rank. Lasts until the end of your next turn. You get the resistance regardless of whether or not your spell dealt damage. You don't have to take the energy type of the spell. That's so much better. That's just a relief to me, because it's actually useful now. Paizo was clever with what they changed. I wish they'd gone a little bit farther sometimes, like with Talismans. But overall, they did a good job. Way better than other gaming companies that I've seen try to revamp their work. So, thank you, Paizo. Okay, just a couple more things. This probably doesn't matter to most of you, but I don't care. I want to talk about it. Break Curse. 7th level feat. I love this thing. I use curses a lot. Not just cursed items, but also curses. They're really useful plot devices. But also, they're kind of difficult to deal with. So they're just fun to make the players have to think about what's happening and what to do about it. So anyway, Break Curse, 7th level feat. Prerequisites, Master in Occultism or Religion. It has the traits of Concentrate, Exploration, General Healing, and Skill. Skill feat. You spend 8 hours praying or performing occult rites over the target, weakening a curse's power over them. Attempt to counteract the curse using Occultism or Religion for your counteract check, and half your level rounded up for the counteract rank. Break Curse only takes 10 minutes of prayer and rites if you are legendary in Occultism or Religion. This is necessary for some GMs. I'm one of them. I love this thing. Granted, not all of you are gonna care, but I love that there's a way to break a curse without being a spellcaster. Cool. Good choice. Good call. Good creation. I like it. I covered the next thing in my Halloween livestream, as I did several of these, but I'm going to repeat it here because I said I would cover it and I don't want people to be required to watch a 2-hour livestream to hear the answers to their questions. That just seems like being a dick. So the wizard school of Ars Grammatica, I'm going to go over because it doesn't make intuitive sense. I want you to know how this works. Runes and wards, numbers and letters, they underpin all magic, making them the logical subject for a wizard who studies fundamental forces. Perhaps you studied it at the Pathfinder Society's School of Spells or a similar institution, but whether you're lacing your words with magic to compel others, casting wards around your workshop, or destabilizing the very structure of an opponent's spells, you know this unassuming school carries elegant power. Curriculum cantrips, message and sigil, first rank. Command, disguise magic, runic body, runic weapon. I just love that. They're good spells now. 2nd rank, dispel magic and translate. 3rd rank, enthrall, veil of privacy. 4th rank, dispelling globe and suggestion. 5th rank, sending and true speech. 6th, repulsion and spell rack. 7th, contingency and planar seal. 8th, quandary, unrelenting observation. 9th, detonate magic. School spells initial is protective wards, advanced rune of observation. Obviously, those are new spells. The beginning focus spell for Ars Grammatica. Protective wards takes 1 action. It's a focus spell. Uncommon aura, focus, manipulate, wizard. Area 5-foot emanation centered on you. Duration sustained up to 1 minute. You expand a ring of glyphs that shields your allies. You and any allies in the area gain a +1 status bonus to AC. Each time you sustain the spell, the emanation's radius increases by 5 feet to a maximum of 30 feet. Nice. This is bless for wizard. It's good. Cool. It's interesting that it's from Ars Grammatica. They really do a lot with runes, not just words. Not all of these wizard schools are intuitive at first, but once you read their abilities and you relate that to the name, then it sort of comes into more focus. Like, I'm going to read you the School of the Boundary. School of the Boundary. Why use your magic to affect something as pedestrian as the physical world? Whether you studied at the College of Dimensional Studies in Katapesh or an underground school in haunted Ustalav, you've turned your magic past the universe to the forces beyond, summoning spirits and shades, manipulating dimensions and planes, and treading in a place not meant for mortals. Curriculum cantrips. Telekinetic Hand. Void Warp. First, and Void Warp used to be Chill Touch. First spell rank, Grim Tendrils, Phantasmal Minion, Summon Undead. 2nd rank, Darkness, See the Unseen. 3rd rank, Bind Undead, Ghostly Weapon. 4th rank, Flicker, Translocate. 5th rank, Banishment, Invoke Spirits. 6th, Teleport, Vampiric Exsanguination. That's awesome. 7th rank, Eclipse Burst, Eclipse Burst and Interplanar Teleport, not Pelletort. 8th rank, Quandary and Unrelenting Observation. 9th, Massacre. Wow, this is a messed up school. School spells, Initial Fortify Summoning and Advanced Spiral of Horrors. Let's look at Fortify Summoning while we wait for my computer to load. Go! Just go! Why is it so hard?
Oh, it's one more page.
Okay. The Boundary first level focus spell, Fortify Summoning. It takes 1 action, Uncommon Concentrate Focus Wizard. Range 30 feet, targets 1 creature you summoned. As you call a creature to your side, your magic transforms its body, heightening its ferocity and fortifying its resilience. The target gains a +1 status bonus to all checks and DCs, including its AC, for the duration of its summoning up to 1 minute. Fits the boundary, fits reaching beyond the veil and doing stuff. The wizard schools, they make more sense to me. And I'm saying this as somebody who started playing D&D in the early 90s. So I was used to the 8 schools of magic for a very long time. These make more sense. I know not all of you are going to agree with me, but these are bound by concepts that are like what you're doing while you're using the spell. It's more in-world explanation instead of, oh, that's an enchantment spell because it affects someone's mind. These seem more intuitive to me. I don't know what you think. Let me know in the comments. Now I have on the screen the beginning of the character that we were making in the live stream. So those of you who were with me in that, I'm going to continue working on this character, and I will make a video for it soon, and you will see that announced shortly. And everyone who just wants a character sheet that's fillable, there's going to be a link to it in the description. This thing is awesome. I wish I could take credit. I didn't make it. I'll write the author in the description as well, because I don't remember offhand. Thank you for joining me today. I'm grateful for your help and kind words in the comments, or just chatting in the comments, because it's useful for that and it's fun. And thank you to my lovely patrons. Could not do this without you guys. I release unique videos on Patreon, do giveaways, and the highest level of patrons get one-on-one time with me and get something unique created for them every month by me. If you want to check out our Patreon, go to the description, there's a link there. If you want to catch the next video I make, hitting the subscribe button is a good way to bookmark the page. Check back later. And if you liked the video and you want this to spread to more people, because I do, then hit the like button, share if you like, whatever you do to tell the algorithm gods that this is useful. And if you think it's not useful, just say so in the comments, because I want to know. Alright, so if you would like to see a video on my most recent builds, you can click there for that link there. That's there. And if you want to see more remaster content that I've done, click over here. I just want to say thank you for everybody who joined me on the live stream. It was a lot of fun. And thank you for being here.